Inside Maumee Athletics podcast, where we bring you the pulse of the Panthers athletic scene. I'm your host, Jeremy Schneider. Each week, we dive into the inspiring stories, hard-fought games, and the teamwork that makes our community proud. Thanks for tuning in. We've got a special episode for you this week. It's our first annual football playoff preview show. I sat down with the Panthers football seniors and some of their coaches to talk about the journey from 0-10 to hosting a home playoff game, some of their best memories from the last few years, and what it will mean to play at Kazmaier Stadium one last time. Instead of splitting this into 2 episodes, I decided to pile it all into one. So this episode is a long one, but I think you're going to want to binge every single second. There are photos on our website, InsideMaumeeAthletics.com, to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the recording of this episode. Thanks to Maumee senior Lucy Porter for taking some great pictures. Before we get to my chat with the seniors, though, let's take a look back at the highlights from last week in our Panthers Rewind. The football team closed out one of the most successful regular seasons in school history with a convincing 41-17 win over Otsego last week. The Panthers finished with an 8-2 overall record and a 5-2 mark in the Northern Buckeye Conference, good for third place. It's the most wins through 10 games since the Panthers won 9, all the way back in 2009. Cody Wolf rushed for 178 yards and 2 scores, and his 83-yard touchdown reception gave Maumee a much-needed boost heading into halftime. Eli Dotson had the play of the game, though, jumping an Otsego pass and returning the interception 65 yards for a score early in the second half. Carson Greats and Keyshawn Midcalf also both had big touchdowns. The Panthers have now won 5 straight games by an average of 30 points heading into the playoffs. The boys soccer team made it back-to-back district titles with a pair of wins over 2 NLL schools last week. Blake Wagner had a hat trick as Maumee beat Clay 5-3 in the semifinals, and then Frankie Folger scored the game-winning goal late in the second half of the final, sending the Panthers to a 3-2 win over Southfield. Not only did Maumee win the district title and provide some humble pie for their doubters, but the Panthers also improved to a sparkling 19-0 on the season. The girls' soccer team season came to an end last week in the district semifinals, losing a heartbreaking 1-0 match to Sandusky Perkins deep in overtime. The 2 schools have battled through the last few years, and this was the Pirates' first win over the Panthers in that time. Maumee ended its season with an 8-2 record. This senior class, though, will graduate as one of the most accomplished in girls' soccer history at the school. They won more games in a 4-year stretch than any other class, and they're the first class to post a winning percentage of over 500 in a decade. Ariana Dugan's path in the cross-country postseason came to an end at the regional meet. The freshman placed 28th on the course at the Owens Community College Findlay area campus last weekend, just on the outside of a qualifying spot for the state meet. Dugan overcame a lot of obstacles this season, and she definitely started to put it together as the year went on. The future is definitely bright for Ariana. And that's a look back at the last week in Maumee Athletics. We've got 2 separate interviews for you this week. Our first group leads what I think is the deepest and most talented collection of skill players in the area. Whether opponents try to stop the run or the pass, these seniors have proven they can win in a variety of ways. Before we get to the linemen, here's our chat with Carson Greats, Cody Wolf, Keyshawn Midcalf, Bryson Bonds-Crawford, and Tristan Dotson, along with Coach Slee, Coach Kinney, and Coach Nino. So obviously, Coach Karchner is a fantastic head coach. I mean, what he's been able to do in 2 short years here has been nothing short of tremendous. But he doesn't do it alone. He's got a ton of great assistant coaches around him. So from Coach Karchner and all of the assistant coaches, Cody, can you talk about the impact they've made on you as a player and just, I guess, the program in general? I mean, it's been tremendous, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the coaches, not just us becoming better football players, but better people in general. So bringing in the community to help us watch the games, bringing in people, and then just bringing energy to practice. And, you know, every day you don't want to show up and lift weights, you don't want to show up and practice, but knowing that these coaches are going to come every day with energy and they want to be there, it's going to kind of fall off to the players, and we want to be there. We want to win games. They want to win games. So just not as becoming better football players, but becoming better people in general.
All right, Carson, you want to add something to that?
Yeah, and to add on to that, like with the assistant coaches and stuff, Coach brought in, Coach Perkins, Coach Slee, Coach Nino. Well, Coach Nino has been here all 4 years, but, he kept him on the staff. Coach Kinney, Coach Gus, all these guys are, like, they know their stuff about their specific, like, D-line, O-line. They all know their stuff. They all played. They've all experienced it. They all are very, like, good-minded people. They're really focused on, like, player development and just getting us to where we need to be for Fridays.
Is this staff different? Is this staff special because of the way you guys come together and push towards the same goal, which I'm sure doesn't happen everywhere?
Yeah, I've been on a bunch of different, high school staffs, right? I mean, for over the years, and, you don't always get along with everybody, but I feel like with this staff, there's a good bond, and there's, everyone gets along with each other. We joke around and we get serious with each other when it's time to. I mean, it's a close staff. I think everyone, respects each other's opinions, and I think when you have a staff that's concerned about just winning and there's no ego, right? I mean, we go to our meetings, like we're going to have after this, and it's just, you check your ego at the door, and we're all just trying to win. I think when you have that type of, relationship type of, coaching staff, you're going to be successful, and I think you've seen it, right, the last 2 years, with this staff.
Coach Lee, you were a head coach. You've been a head coach before. So how does that change how you approach things as a guy on the staff, knowing, some of the decisions that the head guy has to make? Does that affect maybe how you go about things a little bit, having that insight into head coaching?
Yeah, it does. So number one, not being a head coach, it's a big difference. There's a lot more on Coach Karshner's plate, that people don't realize. Everything that staying up till 1, 2, 3 in the morning. It may be some nights, and there's a lot that he does that people have no idea, people don't see. And with the blend of the coaches that we have, coming on staff here, Coach Perk, Coach Gus, Coach Karshner, they all play Division I football or coach at the collegiate level. So, that's a huge asset to Coach Karshner, the experience that the coaching staff brings, and, the wide variety of, places that coaches on staff have been.
Coach Nino, you were here before. You've seen how this program has gone from before to now with Karshner. Was it special to you? Did you feel like more of a I just want to say more pressure maybe to be the guy who's been here consistent through it all, and how special has it been to see this change with all the coaches and everything, all the success happening now?
I don't think that there's any extra pressure having been here before. Pressure is what you make it, but I think the group of kids we have here now have kind of really grown in the last 4 years. I was here when they came in. We kind of came in together, so this is my senior season as well with them.
Okay.
And they've grown quite a bit as players and as men, and it's just been a fun ride. And consistency, I guess, in the staff. But the last 2 years now with these guys, it's different. That the bond that the coaches have is for sure one thing, but then just the amount of time spent invested in all facets of the football program is something that if you're not around it, you wouldn't understand it. So
I'm going to turn to you players. I know, these guys know more about football than I'll ever know. But talk about them personality, them as people. I feel like I'm watching you guys, some of your interactions with the coaches throughout the camp at Trine and through the off season and all that. Can you talk maybe about them being role models for you guys and how you guys have been able to form relationships with them? Tristan?
I feel like we have a lot closer of a bond with the coaches. The coaches really try to actually get to know us and build relationships with us as people, and not just see us as players. They want to know us as people.
Carson?
Personality-wise and just personal relationships are huge. For us on the team, I feel like it really makes going to practice easier. Makes going if you're not feeling it that day, because I know Coach Slee is gonna want me to give full effort in a drill, so I'm gonna go do it because I respect Coach Slee and he's fun, he's a good guy to be around, all that type of stuff. And then Coach Kinney, we're pretty close. I've known him for a while. We make jokes about TikToks, Moose State. Shout out Moose State. Any Moose State fans listening? Coach, like he said, he's been here for 4 years, and over those 4 years, we've joked around, we laugh a lot, and it just makes coming to practice fun. Like Coach Carson always says, make football the best part of your day, and it really is when you are around people you're like and consider like good role models. It's huge. It makes it way easier and way more fun.
Coach Kenny, you're a lot closer to these guys' age than a lot of the other coaches, and you have a brother who is their same age. Do you feel like a closer relationship with them because of that? Because you know what Grant's going through at Anthony Wayne, and you're not that far removed from what they're going through.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to connect with them, and I think, when you're in the coaching, business, it is all relationships with the players and that, and I think we demand a lot of them. And if you don't have that relationship, right? I mean, it becomes difficult because we're demanding a lot of them, and then when they don't have or don't give us what we want, right? I mean, we're obviously going to be on them, and if you don't have that relationship, it doesn't work. Like I always look at it like if you have a boss you don't like, are you really going to give your full effort, everything you have to them? You're not. So I think when we got here, our whole thing was building relationships with them. Like that's what we spent the whole offseason doing. Our first year was really learning them, going to all the weightlifting, going to really all the sporting events we could, so we could form that bond. No, but to answer your question, I've always looked at it as a player-coach relationship. It's different than what it used to be. I think, how you relate to kids is different. You got to be, I don't want to say you're their friend, but there's ever a relationship where you have a friendship. But I think there's always a line there, and I think they do a good job of knowing it. And I think, with my age, that's the first thing, you got to be careful with, right, when you're that close of age. But, I think they do a good job with the line, and it does make my job easier to relate to them.
So I think knowing these coaches and knowing the people they are, so it makes it easier on Friday nights to trust them. So when it's 4th and 1, I can trust Coach Kenny, whatever he wants to call, whatever he wants to do. Even if I get the ball or not, Carson gets the ball, we pass, run, doesn't matter because I know who Coach Kenny is. I trust him. Going through all these workouts, seeing Coach Kenny there, and especially with Coach Karshner, what defense he wants to run. He changed it up a few times since he's came in here. The whole defense trusts him, what he tells us to do, change it week to week. So knowing who these coaches are, we can trust them every Friday, and that relates to wins.
Yeah, to add on to that, we always joke around with Coach Kenny about being on his computer or like his watching film and stuff, how he's always watching it all the time. But truthfully, same thing with Coach Karshner. We go in his room any period of the day. If he's not actually teaching, he's watching film or doing something for football or practice or, whatever. But it makes it a lot easier on Friday nights, like Cody said, to trust them to make the right calls and to know that they put in all this time, including every coach on their staff watches a lot of film. I mean, even at practice, I ask a question, they're like, Coach Lee will tell you, he can rattle off any percentage of what any team has done all season out of any formation. So honestly, on Friday nights, it makes it, not that you don't have to think, but it makes it, you can just trust the call. You don't have to think, oh, what if they do this? Because we've already went over every scenario, every possible play or outcome. So the trust thing is a huge thing, too, in the relationship.
We're extremely lucky to have the Pride of the Panthers helping us make memories for our students. There aren't many communities or schools who have a group of talented photographers at almost all of our kids' events and games. You can follow them on Facebook by searching Pride of the Panthers.
So there's a close bond between the senior class. And I mean, we're seeing it right here, the way you guys just are able to joke with each other and laugh at and with each other. You guys have been through a lot. When you guys were freshmen and sophomores, it was a couple 0-10 seasons. And then last year we go 5-5. And, that's great and all, but it's still 5-5. We don't make the playoffs. You guys had to go through a lot. Keyshawn, can you talk about that bond that you guys and that friendship that you guys have together and how that's helped pull you guys through these last 4 years?
Yeah, I say all of us being close, really help it because when we were 0-10 the first 2 years, I can say, it was multiple times, me, Cody would sit on the sideline and be like, oh, yeah, bro, I'm tired of this 0-10. I'm ready to go win. So, I feel like that made us all better. We knew when Coach Karshner came in, we had to make a change. We had to do something because we're tired of going 0-10. We're tired of losing. We're tired of being talked about every week. So I think, us being close definitely helped translate to the field.
Bryson, talk about those relationships and how that's helped pull you guys through and get on to the other side of, of where you guys find yourself right now.
Yeah, to go back to what Keith said, it's easier to play with people you trust. So since we super close, like, we can get on each other, it'll be fine. We'll just go play the next play. It's easy to just get mad at each other if we don't know each other, we're not close to each other. So if we had that tight bond, I feel like we could do anything together.
Cody, these friendships you guys have, it's special, and it's something you guys, I mean, honestly, you don't realize it right now, but your coaches can talk about it, I can talk about it. These are relationships you guys are going to have forever. The things you guys went through are things you guys are going to carry with you through the rest of life. So how special has it been to be able to do what you guys have been able to do with a group of guys you obviously get along with? How has that helped?
I mean, for sure, it's awesome. I mean, the whole senior class, I mean, they're my brothers, man. We've been working since Chiller's freshman year, so coming in every single day, I'm looking forward to seeing these guys working with them, and every single day we hyping each other up. We all trying to get better together. And Friday night, you can see, man, I can get on Bryson get on me. Next play, we're perfectly cool, like you just said. And knowing it's 4th and 1, we're on defense, I can look to my side. I see Bryson, Carson coming down, Keyshawn, and we know that one of us got to make a play, and I can trust to make a play. I can do my job, hammering back inside, Bryson hammering back inside, me making the play. So just trusting that everyone's going to do their own job so someone else can make a play. I mean, we're real unselfish, so we all want to make plays for each other. We all want to win for each other. Since we've been through 0-10, we can see that some of them kids maybe before want to be selfish, make plays. That's how touchdowns happen. But all of us together, we've been seeing each other work. We want to see the best out of each other.
Coaches, an 8-2 season doesn't happen with a group of kids that don't like each other. It just doesn't happen. I mean, you can be as talented as you want, but if things aren't going right in the locker room, or those hard conversations between, like Cody just said, between him and Bryson, and they can move on from it, how special has it been from your aspect as coaches to be able to coach a group of kids, not just the seniors, but you see it from the juniors, from the sophomores as well? This is really a group of guys that really truly appreciate each other and get along. So does that make things easier on your end?
I think they hold each other accountable. I mean, we ask a lot of them when you look at what our schedule looks like and the time that they've got to put in during the summer and things like that. And no one wants to miss a workout because they know, hey, the other 10 were here. I don't want to be the guy that wasn't there working. And because they'll get on that one that wasn't there. And it just kind of has to move on at that point. But I think this group of seniors has really done a good job, not just with being close with each other, but bringing the other grades with them and just kind of forming a bond 10 through 12. And I think that's been a huge impact on what we've done this year. So,
how about you, Coach Lee?
Yeah, you definitely see it with these 10 seniors. There's 10 seniors and there's 10 personalities.
Yeah.
The coaching staff was actually talking about it the other day, with Pierce and Donnie and Carson and Cody. There's a lot of big personalities, and they're a lot of fun to be around. And when they score a touchdown Friday night, somebody's looking for a camera in the end zone somewhere, and they're trying to get a good, group shot together. And it's, seeing some of those pictures online afterwards, they're pretty good to see, and you can tell they're having a lot of fun, and they like each other, and it's a good group to be around.
I wonder. I didn't think about this, but touchdown celebrations. You did a gritty, or no? What was it? You the whip it nene or something, right? You did that a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Talk about the fun you guys get to have, and how important is that to make sure that this is fun?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. It's just the whole celebration thing. It's just we'll be in the locker room or a team dinner or wherever, and somebody will make a joke about doing something, and then it kind of then everybody starts talking about what they're gonna do. We plan it out, and then usually I get in the end zone, I forget what I'm gonna do. I'm too excited. The adrenaline's going, but yeah, it's just having fun. I mean, it's why we all play. It's why we keep coming back. We all like to have fun, and when you're winning and you're beating up teams like we are, and then you get to have fun. You get to do those type of things, and it's just part of it, I guess.
So you guys playing this out. So Cody, I think it was a couple weeks ago, maybe it was Genoa, when you, Pierce, and Donnie were in the end zone. You did like a can type thing, like a little kick line type thing. Was that planned?
Yeah, for sure. That was planned. I mean, we want to do it. We only said we were going to do it if we're up by a lot because we didn't want to get a flag.
Right.
And then have to run razorbacks and then push the extra point back. But we know it was the end of the game. We scored. We were up by however much we were up by, so we had to do it.
I'd say celebrations is definitely a big thing with me in football. I go on TikToks. I might watch celebrations from 2009 all the way up to the current year. I watch it at team dinner. I might even look and see what accessories I'm wearing for the next game. Drip. And celebrations is definitely a big thing, and I don't think we'd make it to where we're at right now, 8-2, if we didn't have the celebrations that we have.
There are a lot of conversations that come up, and Keyshawn is in my position group, and he often will ask, hey, Coach, what if I do this celebration? Do you think I'll get a flag? And he's got some wild ones that he throws out there that most of them we've been able to pull him back from. But I think if there were no penalty possibilities, Keyshawn would do some things that would entertain everybody.
They all talk about these celebrations, but they don't talk about like the Razorbacks that come from them sometimes too. So,
Is it worth it? Are the Razorbacks worth it?
No.
Razorbacks.
No.
But yeah, you're still doing the celebrations knowing that the Razorbacks are coming. So it has to be worth it, right?
I mean,
If there's a clip, like if they get a picture or a video, like then it's worth it. It's like, all right, at least I have the video still. I get Razorbacks pretty often.
No.
I'm a Monday 300 guy every week. I'm due for one flag a game. I'll be honest. So the Razorbacks are not worth it. They're not fun. I don't recommend it. I'm trying to get away from it, so hopefully I'll be done soon. But
Bryson's looking absolutely astonished by what you just said right there. Bryson, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not taking no Razorback for the celebration, me personally. If not a camera around, I'm definitely not taking them.
Pictures forever. Razorbacks are just like,
it's temporary.
15 minutes.
And guess what? I feel it for like an hour after, so it doesn't matter. I'm not doing
You
it.
still got that picture forever, though.
It's not worth it.
So there's a couple games that I look at as turning points for this program. Rossford last year, I mean, everybody was out. There's a lot of guys who were out. We still ended up winning. Otsego, that obviously lit a fire underneath you guys, losing that game last year. And then this year, Genoa, having that win to kind of show you guys what was possible. Are those really good markers for the progress of this program, Coach Kenny?
yeah, I mean, there are a few ones that stand out, and one that people really don't talk about was our St. Francis scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
When you win in 35 to 7, and I know scrimmage don't really win, but like we played really well, and me and Coach Karshner, we sat there and talked and said, everyone kept asking, hey, what's like the game that's most important? We're like, the first scrimmage. Like, I mean, I don't think people realize from an outside perspective, like just how bad some of these kids felt about football, how low of confidence they had. And for us, really, on both sides of the ball, to go out and against, you look at St. Francis now, they're having a good season, but it's the same kids they had last year, right, that they have still on that roster. And we came out, really dominated, and, that got us to the point where they trusted us, they believed everything that we were going to do. And that led into the Springfield game, which I don't know if there was a more important game, right? Obviously getting that, I know we talked about when we got here about, we're not going to talk about, going 1-38, going 0-10, but, there was still that, monkey on our back with the Springfield game, us, not having won in how long it was. So, those are the ones I look at. I look at St. Francis scrimmage, the Springfield one. The Rossford run which was able to battle through adversity, right? I mean, a lot of stuff happened just before that game even started with injuries and stuff like that. And we had Carson step up and play running back. He played really, really well. And we had some other guys step up and do stuff and show that we can battle through adversity, being down, I think it was 35-14 at one point. And then, the next big one I look at is, Otsego, because that one really set the tone for the whole this upcoming season. The bad taste in our mouth, walking off that field, and I know Coach Karshner took it personally, I took it personally. We didn't feel right for a long time after that game.
Right.
I felt bad. I felt like I let the seniors down, or the past seniors, guys like Liam Murphy, Chase Malucci, guys who deserve to be in the playoffs, right? Obviously, Otsego knocked us off. So, that one really set the tone. I mean, those are the main ones I look at. And then, obviously, the Genoa one from this year. I mean, going into that game, everyone had said, Maumee just beats up on the bad teams. Maumee doesn't, beat anybody good. And, I know some guys over at Genoa, their head coach, that's a good program traditionally. And for us to be able to go out and we were up 24-0 in the first half, kind of made our guys believe, hey, we can beat, teams that are good. So those are the ones that I look at that were pretty important for us over the last 2 seasons.
I'm really glad you brought up that St. Francis scrimmage, because there's one moment in that scrimmage that really stands out to me. And I don't advocate for extracurriculars in football or pushing or shoving or fighting or anything, but there was a moment when it was right down, I think we were driving down and something happened, and our one of our guys got up and started shoving and started doing stuff like that. And years past, that would have never happened. But when I saw that happen, I'm like, oh, this is a different attitude. Can you talk about how that attitude has changed maybe from years past, Carson, to where, again, I'm not advocating for pushing and shoving after the play, but it was something to see that attitude out there.
Yeah, it's definitely like a mentality shift from years past. In the old, people would just kind of let them shove them, and that's teams get up doing stuff like that. They find ways you hit somebody hard and you tackle them, you put your shoulder, they're feeling that the next play, stuff like that. But just that attitude and stuff, it translates into every play. Our D line plays so aggressive and nasty, and that stuff ends up happening when teams get upset. They get but to get pushed or to be on the ground or whatever, and to see your whole team running up to come protect you, or to watch your teammate push somebody to protect somebody else, or it's just kind of like a hard nose. We're here, we're Maumee. This is who we are. This is what we do. We win football games. We make you. We punish you guys, and this is what it is. So teams can't handle that, and it's just that's our attitude now. So
one thing that Coach Karshner, has always said the last year or so is we want to play in meaningful games. Beating Genoa was that was a meaningful game, and they were 5-1 at the time, and that was a really big win for us. We wanted to play a little bit better the Oak Harbor game, and we thought we had a good shot for the Eastwood game. The outcomes didn't come our way. Playing meaningful games, beating a 5-1 team, beating a 5-win Otsego team at the end of the year where there was some a little bit of bad blood or whatever from last year's game with that. Now sitting at 8-2 and playing having a home playoff game. Those are big meaningful games to play in. And as an assistant coach in the past at Gibsonburg or head coach at Woodmore, I've been a part of I think 2 0-10 teams, and then I've been a part of 2 10-0 teams as a coach. And you don't play meaningful games when you're 0-10,
right?
Unless you're playing a 1-7 team and you have a shot. But when you're 10-0 and you're making the playoffs and you're competing for league titles, playing in meaningful games is there's a lot more. I don't say meaning behind it, but there's a lot more that goes into it, and there's a lot more energy. There's a lot more at stake. When you get bigger crowds at home, and it's it's exciting to be around. So having a home playoff game now this coming Friday, it's gonna be something special.
Going back to the mentality thing, when you asked about the pushing and stuff after, I just feel like we're that team now that. Yeah, we're going to push you after the play, just to not condoning any violence, but just letting you know, this is what we came here to do. We came here to play football. We came here to hit y'all in the mouth all 4 quarters. We came in here to do our job. It's not nothing against y'all personally, but unfortunately, we do what we got to do.
Tristan, Bryson, does this team go 8-2 without that change in attitude?
No. It doesn't.
No.
You can't win that way. You got to be physical and you got to play hard. It's the only way you can play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say we definitely protect our guys. If somebody's gonna shove us after the play, we're gonna have the same mentality. And even the Woodmore scrimmage, they were talking to us and they were trying to chat it up, and then we started doing the same thing back, and they couldn't respond to us after we started playing like we did.
The Mirror newspaper has been a supporter of IMA from the very beginning. If quality journalism is important to you, please consider becoming a subscriber. You can head to their website at themirrornewspaper.com to find more information on becoming a traditional print or digital subscriber.
So you guys obviously debuted the new uniforms this year, and they are fantastic. They're really slick. That hype video was incredible. I don't know how many thousands of people have watched that hype video. Keyshawn, how did that change how you guys approached this season? Did that change, do you think, maybe how people viewed you from the outside? It's not just a uniform, is it?
No. Well, I seen a lot of people like reposting our videos saying Maumee doing this and they're still bad, and just a lot of bad negative comments about us. So I feel like we took it personal. So when the season actually came and we're like, all right, we really got to play. Like, we're not just getting new jerseys for no reason. Like, we're finna go out here with the new jerseys, embarrass y'all, come drippy every game, do our thing. We're going to go out here and embarrass y'all in the new jerseys.
Any of you other guys, did the change in the uniforms, did it mean anything to you guys other than just putting on something different, Carson?
Yeah, I mean, it goes along with the whole culture and, like, attitude change when, everybody says it, when you look good, you play good, But it really is true. It gives you a different level of like confidence, and we're all going to the first game. We're like, oh, these white jerseys are tough. Like, this is sweet. Like, it just lifts up morale, and it gives guys something to look forward to for the season. To be able to wear the new white jerseys and our new white helmets. Like, that's something new we got too. Is the helmets are painted white, and yeah, that's just a lot of teams say we're just a Twitter team, but you can be a Twitter team when you're 8-2. So,
if you can back
as much as you want.
Exactly. You can back it up. Cody, did having a new uniform? I mean, you even changed your number this year. Mm-hmm. Did that change kind of a mindset? Did that give a little bit extra to this season?
I mean, I think so, because our old jerseys, that was our old program, our 1-38 program, or the new jerseys come in 8-2, so we're just gonna keep rolling off of that with these new jerseys. So I think kind of like a reset of the program and kind of reset of the players, and we just want to show that this is a new Maumee and that was the old Maumee with our old jerseys.
Coaches, I mean, are you on board with that idea of new jerseys, new feeling, new vibe around the program?
Yeah, when me and Coach Karshner came in, if we could have changed the uniforms before our first season, we would have, right? If we would have had, the fundraising, and we would have. But you come in late, right? I mean, we ordered these new uniforms in November, and we didn't get them until the summer.
Yeah.
It's just how, and it's a change of appearance, a change of look, right? We don't want to, I think when teams, look at, whether you like it or not, when teams look at, the old uniforms, they look at it's losing, it's associated with losing. When you look at our uniforms now, right? I mean, now all you see is 8-2. All you see is a team that's going to have a home playoff game. And the other thing, too, is when you're at a school like Maumee with, open enrollment and you're trying to get more kids to come to the school, they care about having Nike uniforms. They care about, that you got them custom made. They care about that you might have an alternate uniform coming next season, right? They care about all that. They care about all that stuff. So, I mean, it's good for the program.
Yeah, when I came in here, so I'm not a Maumee guy. I'm not from Maumee. I'm from a town of 1,500 people, and Coach Karshner was talking about what people and businesses donated for these jerseys. That just says a lot for the town of Maumee or the city of Maumee in general. I think it was Coach Karshner when I first got here said Maumee's a football town, and it's pretty evident now when you come to home games and to see what people and businesses donate to this program. It's a lot, and it means a lot for these players. And, I think it was the Bowling Green scrimmage. It's the first scrimmage. It's the, first Friday or second Friday in August. And Coach said to me, be ready. It's our preview night. There's going to be a lot of people here. And I walk out there. I'm like, I was pretty impressed. This is a scrimmage, August 6th or whatever it was. And, the stadium was packed. And there was a lot of people there. It was pretty impressive to see.
I mean, I think as far as it goes well beyond just the new helmets and uniforms. I mean, everything associated with the football program right now has been an influx of just lots and lots of things. The gear that the kids get. We started the new Lift-A-Thon fundraiser to get people in to see some of the work that the kids do. The playoff shirts were like a gift to them as far as like, hey, we did what we wanted to do this year. Here's something for like. There's just so many things that have gone on around the football program. That are, like Coach Kinney here said, I mean, it's not just getting other kids looking into it, but it's getting our 7th and 8th graders to say, hey, I can't wait to be a Maumee Panther and play at that high school and be around what those guys are doing. So I think that it's major in all forms of that.
So week 1 of playoffs is coming this week. We got Lexington coming to Kazmaier Stadium. This could be the last game you guys play at Kazmaier Stadium. Got to be a lot of emotions, a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings surrounding that. Keyshawn, what are your thoughts and emotions behind possibly going out onto that field for the last time?
I'm excited because I know what us preparing all week for them. We're going to get ready, and we know we got to bring to the table to make it out. So my main thing is we're going to go out there, do our thing. It's intensity gonna be high. It's our home playoff game, first home playoff game since 2009. So, but I know we got it in us.
Guys, does it seem real, Carson? Does it seem real that, this could be the last time you ever step out on that field?
No, I mean, the Cavs is a really special place. And like we said earlier, Maumee is a football town. Like,
Yeah.
if you've ever been to a home game, you see the stands are packed, all the walkway, the concession stand, the fence is lined with people. I mean, it's a really special place to play. And in years past, it wasn't like that. And over the last, even last season wasn't as, the community wasn't as behind us last year as they are now. I mean, it's insane to go out there and how loud it is, and like the first down MAU chant that you guys do. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just like that would have never, and the cowbells and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just really it's really special, and it's definitely going to be emotional when we, when it's finally time to say goodbye to the Cavs. But college football, you can go and play, but it will never be the same as a high school with the student section, and they do a great job of getting us hype and keeping the crowd in it, and it's awesome. It's just a great place to play, and it will be super emotional when we're done.
What about that community support, guys? I mean, because I think you guys, based upon your answer, but I think you guys can feel that. I hope you can feel that community support on Friday nights and throughout the week. Do you feel that, Cody? Does that mean something to you guys?
Yeah, for sure. It's awesome knowing that community's with us, people in the schools with us, teachers with us. 'Cause walking through the hallways, people telling us good luck, go play well, go do something, go do this. And just walking out to the stadium, we walk out an hour early. We're walking through, the parking lot's full. There's little kids that are high-fiving us, people saying good luck and stuff. Then go into our Panther, there's a bunch of little kids out there high-fiving us, and just people are out there being loud and supporting us. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just like parents or grandparents. It's community members. It's people that don't have anybody in the program, and people that they come and you look behind by the train tracks. There's loads of people sitting out there, and I don't know who it is or who the people are, but in the corner of the field, there's they built a stand on the back, and they sit out there and they watch the game. Like that's just that didn't happen years prior. Yeah, just to know the community's behind us when we're at practice and stuff and putting in the hard work, it makes it a lot easier because, there's a reward. We're working hard to put on a show. That's what Coach Carson always says, that, go put on a show. So we go out there, we go entertain the community, and it feels good to know all week that we have that support.
And that's our goal for our last home playoff game, or our last home game, go put on a show for these people. Go out with a bang.
Coaches, do you guys feel that community support? Does that mean something different to you guys?
Yeah, as a community member who lives here and been in this community for the last 20 years, and it is, when things are going well, it is a major football town. And I know we're through some dry years there, but to see the amount of people that are out there now supporting, and even just seeing people now at the grocery store with Maumee things on and things like that, I think is pretty impressive to see how much support there is right now. So.
I know Coach Karchner has talked about making Kazmaier Stadium a place where nobody wants to come play. Are we on the way to doing that? Is this a place where nobody wants to come play?
I think that's twofold. I think you have to have the crowd involved in it to make it difficult, but you've got to have the players on the field that nobody wants to play against. And I think this group right now that we have, nobody's going to want to come in here right now. I'm sure Lexington wasn't happy with the draw that they got when they saw they've got a 2-hour drive to come up here, and some kids that are super excited for the first home playoff game in 15 years. So let's see what happens.
All right, so this is the end of the episode. Just kind of a rapid-fire question sort of thing. Supposed to be fun, supposed to be funny, supposed to be easy, relaxed, just to let people get to know you guys. So first question is, who's the funniest guy on the team?
Either Pierce or Donovan, for sure.
Pierce or Donovan?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting because it came down to those two when I interviewed them. You have to say Pierce or Donovan. Who is Tristan?
I'm saying Pierce because he's just got more of my dry humor.
Okay.
I have I laugh at everything. A lot of the guys make fun of me and stuff, but I do. I laugh at everything, and I just think everything he says is funny for no reason.
Bryson, where do you come down on the Pierce versus Donnie funniest guy debate?
Yeah, probably Pierce, because he doesn't have to say it in a funny tone. He can just say it a normal tone and it'd be funny just because it's him saying it.
You guys, Pierce, Donnie, do you guys have an opinion on either one of them?
my opinion personally, I think Cam Escobar is the funniest.
That's a new one. Okay.
Over Pierce and Donnie.
All right.
Sorry, Pierce and Donnie.
I got Pierce.
Cody's got Pierce.
I think Pierce is pretty funny.
All right, so that's pretty much a consensus between the two episodes that Pierce is the funniest guy on the football team. Who has the best taste in music?
Oh, me.
Nah. I'd probably say Key. I say Key.
All right, so Bryson's on keys. Yeah.
Pierce
Yeah.
gets the aux in the locker room.
Pierce
So I'd say
does
Pierce has to be up there at least in top 3. He plays all right music.
All right, music. I don't think Keyshawn agrees. The look on Keyshawn's face, Key's not agreeing with that. What's wrong with the music that's on the aux? What would you do differently?
My thing is I don't like mainstream music. So when I'm hearing the Gunna that I'm hearing on TikTok all day and all the new songs, I'm more of like a Philly type. I like Philly rappers. I like YBC Duel. Shout out to YBC Duel.
Good. Okay, so who has the worst taste in music?
Tristan?
100%
Tristan. Every time I get in his car, he has to blast country music. I don't have anything against him, but like every day,
That's
yeah.
I just listen to country music.
like
I prefer it.
country.
I grew up not in Maumee. I grew up in the country, and so they make fun of me for it, but I like it.
It's only bad because he only listens to country. Like he will not. You could ask him to play rap song. He's like, yeah, after this, and he just keeps playing his country.
Just mix it up a little bit, bro. We vibe with the country music. You just mix it up a little bit.
I ain't vibing.
No, I will say, me and Carson have swept the locker room to only country music before.
What's the one song? Me and My Kind.
Yep, Cody Johnson.
Cody Johnson.
Y'all
Me and My Kind.
vibing
That's our
over-
locker room sweeping song.
Yeah.
Don't say R. Yours and Tristan is that.
Tristan and I.
Coach Lee, where are you at on this?
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about the country music here because Friday night I heard a Taylor Swift from like 2009 playing in the locker room after the game. So
Don't forget Miley Cyrus.
That's Pierce.
That's
all
Pierce.
Pierce.
Pierce connects right when we get in there. He starts playing stuff from like the early 2000s, like throwback music. That's like what he gets hyped to.
But they were vibing on it, weren't they?
Dance.
They were
For
into
sure.
it.
Dance.
We be dancing. Coach Perk come in there and dance every once in a while.
Coach Perk might have the best taste in music if you're talking to everybody. He knows every song, every singer that they're playing, no matter what genre it is. Coach Perk knows his music.
We were at Fostoria and they were playing this random song, like some like it was like I don't know, like death metal like music. And Coach Perk started singing it, and I was like, how do you know this? And he was doing it at Lake too. They were playing some old music that like none of us knew, and he was singing every song, every lyric. Like, yeah, Coach Perk knows everything.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him.
I think he just sits and listens to music all day.
Yeah, Coach Perk got it for sure.
All right, so here's a question that was really hard for the linemen because I just don't think they care, but I think this is going to be a hot topic for you guys. Who's the best dresser on the team? Who's got the best style?
I'd say Bryson.
Right? Yeah.
I'd say Bryson.
I'll say
Bryson.
Key. Hey, I don't think I repeated any drip this whole season. I'm just saying. I don't think I
If we're
have.
talking about off the field, Bryson, but on the field, Keaton McCullough has pretty good cleat
Yeah,
game.
Keaton.
He got like
Keaton
he's got
got
good
it.
cleat game.
Okay.
He got it.
Okay. Yeah, I did ask them, so the linemen had trouble answering this question, and I said, okay, who showed up to homecoming with the best outfit on? And it was Bryson. They said Bryson looked the best.
The lineman got no drip, none of this.
They got negative drip.
Okay, well, yeah, so that's the next one. Who's the worst dresser on the team?
Oh,
All the linemen as a whole.
Yeah, the line, the O line as a whole. They did all get good cleats though. They all got nice
they all
cleats.
have matching cleats. I'll give them
That was pretty cool.
Me and Bryson talk a lot. That's one of my closest friends. And I say, before every football game, me and Bryson talk about where we're going to wear. And just to throw it out there, he does steal ideas.
see, I knew you were
from
gonna
me
say
a lot
it.
of
We can
the
pull up the
times.
text messages. I'll text him my game day fit every time. He's like, "Don't wear that. Let me wear that." No, it's not gonna happen. We gonna see this week. How about that?
All right, say it right now. What you
We're
want?
gonna see.
I'm saying right now.
Yeah, say it. Hurry up before Keyshawn gets his out.
Nah, I don't even know what I'm wearing yet.
Oh, I
It's
know what I'm
Sunday.
wearing. I know what I'm wearing.
All right, so we going double sweatbands on each arm.
Go ahead.
I don't think we're going compressions this game.
It's gonna be 49.
My favorite part is when the ref makes him take all this stuff off.
I've never had to take anything off. And the my custom cleats. That's probably about
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And then I might throw in.
No shiesty.
Never mind.
It ain't cold enough
Already won.
Close.
Never mind.
Close.
And a black compression shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
We lost.
Hey, we need to take a poll on whose drip is better, Bryson or Keith, on kickoff. And we'll see. All right.
Yeah, maybe we'll get on that. Yeah, see what the fans think. What is your favorite place to play other than Kazmaier Stadium? Is there a stadium that you guys have gone to that you really liked playing at?
I liked Rossford's. But
Yeah,
Rossford's cool.
So I didn't like it.
I wasn't able to be there, so I wouldn't know.
Perrysburg
I
was
see
pretty
that.
cool to play at just because of how many people there was there and stuff. Because it was the last time we were playing them or whatever. And
Yeah.
I mean, their student section's like 600 people deep, so it's just a loud place to play. It's a good environment. It's a good community feel there too. It's similar to how I feel like it feels now to play at Maumee. It's just loud. There's a lot of people there, and they're all involved, and they like the football program. And
How about you guys? I think now you're on the sidelines, Nino, but you two guys are in the press box.
So the press box is a whole different animal. Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
judge it
what's-
by, hey, how nice are the chairs? How nice are
Yeah,
the desks?
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Brian was nice, but it was hot.
Brian was about 103 up in that
It
press
was
box.
hot in the box.
Really?
That game was about 98 on field,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was hot up there.
No fans or anything.
No fans.
Well, the nicest one's probably been Fostoria.
Fostoria.
Really? They got a nice
nice
facility.
view. The chairs were comfortable. I liked it.
You're high up there.
you more of like a wheelie chair guy, coach, or
It was a tall wheelie chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in terms of like Brian was probably the nicest stadium we've been at. I mean, it was just updated press box in that field.
They got all
Lights
that
and
dumb money out there.
Yeah, it was nice.
Last one here. Is there one game from the last? We'll narrow it down to 2 years. Is there one game from the last 2 years that you guys would like to go back and do over? You just want another chance at it.
In a good way, or
Either
this year Eastwood.
Eastwood
we
this year,
definitely-
yeah.
We had an
Yeah.
opportunity and we let it slip, and I mean that's just one that will stay with us, I guess.
I'd like to play Oak Harbor.
Yeah, Oak Harbor too. I think we see them later in the season, and it's a whole different game. We're a different team now. Like Coach said during the Genoa week that we had to make a decision if we were going to be a team that only beats bad teams, or we're going to be a good football team. And I think if we could have made that decision sooner, or realized that sooner, then we would that'd be a different. We'd be on the other side of it, I think.
I definitely wish I could have been at Eastwood.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like I could have helped at least somehow
Sure.
change the outcome. Anyway,
Yeah, and you guys were so close. Yeah.
I'd say I'd see you go last year too. Like Coach King said, for that group of seniors, I think it would have been. Most of those guys in that senior class worked really hard and were on the 1 in 39 teams, and I think they deserved a playoff run and deserved a playoff game. It sucked to lose that game for them, especially in the fashion that we did. And it came down to the end. It was a close game. We fought hard, and obviously losing Cody hurt us a lot. And we were missing other guys, and people's bodies were hurt, and it was just that one just slipped away, and it was something that could have been special for those guys. So that one.
For sure. What about you, coaches? Is there a game over the last couple of years that you'd like to go back and redo? Or you'd like to go either redo in a negative way or relive in a positive way?
positive way, I mean, I tell these guys all the time, that roster game, you'll never have another game like that again.
That was
I mean,
incredible.
down 35-14, double OT, just everything that happened. It was, I mean, sometimes I go back and watch it. I mean, it was just crazy, the stuff that happened. And then from, this year, bad one, Eastwood, I think that was probably my worst play calling game I've had this season.
Okay.
I don't know if I put the guys in the best situation to win that game, throughout the entire game. So that's probably one I'd want back. But no, that's the one that stands out.
Positive, I would say, honestly, having been here, my first 2 years being 0-10 and 0-10, that Springfield game last year, just the weight that was lifted, and to get a win in the first one out, I think that was huge. And that feeling that night was unforgettable there.
Yeah.
And then I think in a negative way, I know we were so close to Eastwood, but the Oak Harbor one sticks this year just because it was 3-0, and then after that, all those old talking points came back, and I think that really sucked because that wasn't who we were as a team. But to lose the way we did, it allowed everybody to kind of start chirping again, and so that one I think would be a one for me.
Well, I think the other thing that people forget about that Oak Harbor game was, what was it, 27 or 24, 20, what was it?
28-17.
28-17 at halftime. I mean, you guys were right there, so that's valid to say you'd like to have that game over again. Coach Lee, does any stand out to you?
Yeah, I'll go a little different route. I'm gonna go week 3 Bowser.
Okay.
This one's a little bit different, but if you could foresee the future and foresee your play, that was Tristan's injury, and if you could hey, you're out one play, or you can't do that.
Yeah.
Football is it's a physical, it's a violent sport, and any play could be your last play, and you don't know. And if we go back that week and take him out one play before or something, you never know. But that one, he's gone through a lot because of that game, and I'd go back to that one.
All right, guys. Well, I know you had all better things to do on a Sunday other than come in here and chat with me, but I do appreciate it. Good luck this week. Thank you again for coming in here and speaking with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is a fun group with a lot of personality. Lexington and future playoff opponents are going to have their hands full with them. Our next group doesn't get nearly the attention or headlines as their teammates, but their contributions to this team are no less important. Their growth and improvement throughout the season have directly led to this incredible season and a home playoff game. Here's our conversation with Donovan Mays, Espen Hurt, Michael Conrad, and Pierce Simpson with Coach Gus and Coach Perk.
All right, so the first time that Karchner came in here, I know there was a big meeting in the cafeteria to introduce himself to you guys, to find out who you are, and really so you guys can find out who he is. You guys had been through quite a bit. There was quite a few losing seasons up until that point. So Pierce, what was that first meeting like? What could you immediately see the energy? Were you buying into this guy's going to be able to change things? What was your first impression of Coach Karchner like?
Immediately, I knew things were going to change. The emotion and the aggression that he had, the want that he had, it wasn't like anything I've seen before from coaches previous year. So I think it was just like, wow, it was like shock because there's finally a football coach who cares about us,
Donnie, if you could chime in on this one, talk a little bit about those years previous to that and maybe where you guys were. I mean, you guys were coming into your junior year, so it's kind of the clock's kind of ticking on, are we actually going to be able to do anything at Maumee? Did that first meeting with Coach Karchner, did it give you guys any sort of confidence that things were going to change, that guys were going to be able to, that you guys were actually going to be able to win a game?
Yeah, I felt a change in Maumee when he came here with that meeting. I could feel the urge to win through his voice and just how he was telling us how things were going to go in the summer, through the season, and just everything through. I could tell that there was going to be change. I mean, the 2-a-day, the 2-to-9, I mean, that real spooked us when we heard it. We're like, dang, this guy's really not playing. But, I mean, we're all, like, bought in with that, saying if that's what it takes to win, we'll do it no matter what.
Now, talk about from there onwards, because a coach can come in and he can, give you a good bill of goods. He can sell anything to you and get you guys to buy in. But I feel like, Espen, has Coach Karchner really kind of backed up that first meeting and backed up that energy and that excitement?
Every day he has a lot of energy with us. Like, he wants us to get better. But he forces us to be better.
Mike, same question to you. How has that first meeting kind of set the stage for everything that's come since then? Because we're, quite a ways into this. I mean, more than almost 2 years into Coach Karchner being here from that first meeting with him. How did that first meeting with him kind of set the stage for everything else that happened afterwards?
Just his, enthusiasm. He really just brings everything.
I know you guys weren't there at that first meeting, but what was it like meeting these guys for the first time? And because they really struggled. I mean, Maumee football struggled. And I know it showed on some of their faces, I'm sure, and the way they conducted themselves, like, oh, here we go again. This is just another Maumee football. Did you guys feel that? Did you see that? Or what did you guys see the first time you met these players?
Yeah, from the first time, I met these guys, I got the feeling that they had some history of losing, and they had gone through some rough patches there. But from the very first 2-a-day to summer practices to, when we got into that Springfield game, it was like, these kids were completely different. They had put in the work. They had gained a lot of confidence, not only from the coaches, but just from each other, going through all those 2-a-day practices and putting in the work really got them to be to the point that they were confident enough to say, like, all right, the past is in the past, and we're going to start building something special here at Maumee.
Talk about, Coach Perkins, talk about that Springfield game specifically. Did you see an immediate change from these kids? I mean, it was a pretty drastic change to go from where they were at the end of the previous season to all of a sudden getting that win. Talk about that change that you maybe saw in some of these guys in such a short amount of time.
Well, we knew going into that we were the better team. After watching it on film, putting in all the work over the summer, we felt like we had the right to win that game. We did things the right way. We worked hard, and we came to that game with a mindset that we're going to get a win. And then, after we got that win, we kind of put that zero and whatever to the side.
Right.
And now you're kind of off of that schneid, and you're trying to work forward from there. And again, that change was immediate. We couldn't have a hangover, though, going into week 2. We had to keep playing, and I think after that win, they really flipped a switch and said, now we can do this more often.
So, Espen, you guys lost a lot of players from last year. I mean, you were the only returning offensive lineman with any starting experience. Talk about where this group has come from maybe January, February, when you guys all really kind of started to get together again, and where you found yourselves. I mean, you guys have dominated quite a few games. I'm thinking specifically of Genoa. You guys dominated that game. How much work and how much effort have you guys put into really coming together as a unit and gelling as a group?
I mean, we've put in a whole lot of work. There's no doubt about that. But at the beginning of the year, it's kind of like rough, where we had to find who was going to play who wanted it more. But I think once he found everybody who wanted it, I think we just clicked and everything started working. Everybody knew what to do. We all trusted each other. It felt good. It feels good to that.
Mike, I'm going to ask you, because you're one of those guys that got slid into one of those new positions and really have had to battle for your spot all year. Has that competition, has that made you a better player? Has that, what's that been like for you battling for that spot?
It was rough. I felt myself grow a lot battling through the positions, but I feel just more confident. I needed a goal to chase, so that was something really big for me.
Okay, a goal to chase and the confidence. Talk about the confidence you guys have gained, and I'll open it up to all of you guys. The confidence you have to gain, because you go from, a question mark to now, I'm going to say you guys are one of the strengths of the team. Talk about that confidence that you had to get in yourselves to be able to get to that point where you're one of the strengths of the team now.
I think the confidence lies within the first 3 games. I mean, we smoked Springfield, we smoked Bryan and Bowser on the O-line. We were just pushing kids around, and during the summer we knew that we lost a lot of kids on the starting O-line, but with the juniors like Jackson and Ryan, I mean, I don't think our O-line is any worse than it was last year.
Coach Perk, what do you say? Talk about the work these guys had to put in and just what you saw from them at the beginning and where they're at right now, their progression as linemen.
Yeah, we had to put some work in, over the off season to get guys ready to play. Guys that played quality minutes coming into the year, but not a lot of guys played it up front in crunch time. So we knew we had some holes to fill, and these guys stepped up to every challenge. I run a hard individual period with just my guys, and we go down there and we get it in for real. And so in order to come through that and then into the group work, you got to have a certain mindset, and I wholeheartedly believe in physicality. Mm-hmm. And if you're not physical, you can't play. We want to be assignment perfect and play physical, and these guys have really taken to that. Communication was tough at first. Last year's line was a chatty bunch. They would talk the whole play. They would talk after, during, before, and they asked a lot of questions just on the field. This group had not as much.
Yeah.
But now I hear the calls coming. I hear the communication coming. Espen didn't have to do all the talking last year because everybody around him was talking. This year, he's kind of got to be vocal first.
Sure.
And then we got some kind of non-talkers from the juniors. Ryan's not going to say a whole bunch.
Right.
So you got to reach out to him and get him going. But he's coming along even with the communication. So that's really big on what we do, being able to get on the same page is talking, communicating, and playing physical. And these guys have done that to a high level.
I know our offense has a lot of skill positions. You've got Ben at quarterback. You've got Carson, obviously, that has a lot of talent. Eli has a lot of talent. But I really think this offense is bread and butter. And Coach Karchner and Kinney have both said this, to establish the run. With Cody back there and Keyshawn back there, that's a big thing for you guys. So for you, Coach Perk, how important was it for you to get these guys in shape? Because Cody can't do it by himself. I mean, somebody's got to be up there opening the holes for him and letting him get that head start through there. So it was a pretty big, I'm sure, a focus for you guys in this offseason.
if you talk about just how Coach Karchner approached this new season with this sprint-based football, there's a lot of science in behind what we do and how we operate a practice. We don't condition conventionally. We're not running guys into the ground. We do it all with a purpose. And like I said, I run a hard individual just so in the fourth quarter of these games, these guys are ready to go. And you'll see my motto, kind of one of the things I'll tell them a bunch is we get stronger as the game goes on. And if there's about 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter and we got the ball, you lose.
If you're taking the time to listen to this podcast, chances are the student athletes at Maumee Middle School and Maumee High School mean a little something to you. If that's the case, you should consider getting involved in the Maumee Athletic Boosters. They meet once every month at the Learning Commons at the high school. Meetings are only about an hour long. The next meeting is at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, November the 6th. Can't wait to see you there.
I know heading into this season, one of the big focuses for Coach Karchner and everybody was to get the defense playing better. I think there was is to close the deal again. That's been said over and over again. You guys gave up a lot of points in a few games that, honestly could have been wins last year. So coming into this season, Donnie, talk about the focus of the defense and how the focus has been to improve the defense and to try to start holding people to fewer and fewer points and giving your offense a chance to really shine.
I mean, our main goal on defense was just be tougher than the other team on offense. I mean, wing T teams, they can't do anything against us. They have to get lucky plays. Maybe a linebacker scrapes too hard. But I mean, generally they can barely run the ball. Saw it against Genoa, saw it against Otsego. I mean, we got Carson as our safety coming down cracking. And we got Cody stuffing the run. And me, Ryan, Pierce, Esmond stopping the pass. I mean, our goal is to be tougher than other teams, and that's what we're here to do.
When you guys came into that Genoa game, and I'll open this up to all you players, you knew what they had coming in. I mean, the number one rushing offense in Northwest Ohio. They had the top running back in the NBC, yada, 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 all that stuff. You guys held that kid to 40 yards rushing. What was and I think that was the best game I've ever seen a Maumee defensive line play. You guys were getting tons of penetration. You guys were tackling everything. I mean, it was fantastic. What was the focus that week? It looked like something switched for you guys, like a switch kind of flipped for you guys. What was that?
I think Genoa last year was one of the games that I wish we could have had back. I don't think they were that good last year. Clearly they aren't this year, but I just think physicality is what it comes down to. When you can't run the ball, when you have people in your face, as soon as you get the ball, you can't do anything. We pretty much shut down their run game.
When we played Genoa, Coach Karchner said it off the bat. It's a D-line game. If we want to win, it's up to the D-line. And Coach Gus told us every day that if we're going to stop their run, we have to get into their backfield, push the line back at least a yard, and we did it more. Pushed them back more, probably about 3.
Coach Gus, I think one thing that I always go back to is defense is about effort and attitude. And the one thing I hear from these guys is a whole bunch of attitude. How has it been coaching them? How has it been getting them ready for the season? Because, again, I'll go back to the original question here. The defense was, I think, another question mark heading into this year. Talk about how they've been able to perform and how they've been able to improve throughout the year.
Yeah, so going into the season, you kind of look at the conference and you kind of see the tiers that are at the top, and we were kind of sitting in the middle there, and we knew that we wanted to take the next step. So obviously, in order to do that, you got to beat one of the top tier teams. So going into it, we had our chance to Oak Harbor and Eastwood off the bat. Obviously, didn't go our way, but I think we did a great job of learning from those games. I honestly think without some of those, lessons that we learned in those games, I don't think we have the season that we do have today. And that strictly comes off of we need to be more physical. We need to do a better job of staying lower than our opponent, getting our hands on, and then just playing aggressive, right? Getting all 4 hats on the D-line to the ball, because good things happen when you get guys to the football and gang tackle and able to cause some turnovers. So having these guys every day just in Indy is a blast. They really, have fun out there, and it shows.
Yeah.
And then you throw on the film, and you're like, I just know that football is the best part of their day every time they come in there. So yeah, they really enjoy it. It's been really fun working with them, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks of continuing to improve and get better.
Both of you guys, both coaches, and the players too, have all talked about physicality. And I've talked to other coaches, college coaches, about this, about, how do you make a player more physical? And the answer I've come to is sometimes it's just something that has to click. Sometimes it just has to click with the kid when they're ready. How do you coach physicality in a kid? How do you bring that out of them? Is there a way to bring physicality out in a player?
For me, really, it's, with a lack of physicality, it's almost like a lack of confidence, right? So, as a kid grows up, he might not be as physical, and he might be a little smaller, might be a little weaker than everybody else. But physicality is a mental thing, right? It's all about deciding you want to be more physical than somebody. So the fact that you could get a kid to do it once, and then you start to see, okay, all right, I can do this. I'm not scared anymore. I can be confident here. And then it's just a snowball effect. You keep growing and growing and growing the more often you do it, and then it just becomes something that is ingrained in you and something that you don't think twice on doing. And that's kind of what we've seen with this group, and what we're going to continue to see with the next couple of groups down the line.
So we've got the home playoff game squared away. We know Lexington's going to come here on Friday. Very well could be the last game you guys get to play at Kazmaier Stadium. Donnie, what are your thoughts on that? What are your feelings on that? Is it going to feel different for you coming out onto that field for the last time, or are you even going to be thinking about that?
I mean, yeah, not being born from Maumee and then moving here in 7th grade, I just grew a love for the Kaz, as I did grow a love for all my friends here and call them family and brothers. And walking off that field, it's going to be a different feeling. I mean, walking off on CU, I was just filled with joy, happy. I barely forgot I forgot it was senior night almost. But I don't know if I'll be able to just walk off the field with the smile I did off on CU. I mean, win or loss, there might be some tears coming out no matter what, because that's probably going to be the last time I ever step foot on that field as an athlete.
So, Espen, what are your thoughts? I mean, you're a kid that grew up in Maumee from kindergarten through now. You're going to graduate from Maumee. So, I mean, the Kaz has always been, when you were a little kid, you probably came here to watch football games. What's that feeling going to be like on Friday when it's possibly the last game at the stadium?
Probably just in my mind, I'll probably just think this is crazy, because I've only played this will be my 4th year of football. I started as a freshman.
Yeah.
So I've only played at the Kaz.
Okay.
And so just knowing that it's over at the Kaz, most likely after that game, win or loss, it's just gonna be really upsetting. It's just like Donnie said, I will cry no matter what.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's just be really sad.
Do you guys take a little bit? I think you guys now under Karchner have won 10 home games. You guys are 4-1 this year at Kazmaier Stadium. Is there something important to you guys about defending that home turf, about making sure that Kazmaier Stadium is one of those places that nobody wants to come play?
I mean, going to any stadium, I mean, I don't want them to go there and say, yeah, we just tore Maumee up there. But coming to the Kaz, I feel like it's like a chill down their spine walking on our turf, saying, dang, it's going to be a long night.
I don't know if you guys have had a chance to watch much film on Lexington. I'm sure you guys have seen and heard. I don't want to get too deep into the playbook and give away any state secrets here, but what are we expecting from Lexington coming up? Specifically, maybe in the trenches with the lines, but overall, what are we expecting from Lexington coming in here this week?
So offensively up front, they present some challenges. They're a bigger unit. They can move a little bit. They've played a little bit together. Obviously had some success making it into the playoffs. So it'll be a good challenge going into it. So I think it'll be a good test on Friday, and we'll be bringing our A game.
Coach Perk, these guys, none of these guys have ever played a playoff game. Both of you guys have been, college football players. You guys have been in those high pressure situations, possibly where it's win or go home. How do you prepare these guys for that? because this is all brand new to them, or are you even going to worry about that? Is there a different mindset they need to have during the playoffs?
No, I don't think so. I think just how we prepare will prepare you for kind of all of these situations. If you go out and just do your job, we're not asking anybody to be a superhero out there. We're simply going to play Maumee football. And again, that's going to be defensively, that's going to be just a sound defense and offense. It's going to be a physical group that's going to run the ball at you, to loosen you up, to throw the ball over the top. And as long as we can kind of just remain within ourselves, nobody gets too big, too small in the moment, we'll be just fine. It's, like he said, Lexington is a good ball club. They're a little undersized on the D-line.
Okay.
Scrappy unit, 3 down. They're really mobile, gonna blitz. And, that's where we tend to struggle when the team's kind of all over the place, not just standing in front of us like blocking dummies. So it's going to be good for us to get our feet moving, and once we get our hands on these guys, then return to dominate.
When you guys came into Maumee, it was the program was about as low as it's probably ever been, and now you guys are leaving, and possibly with one of the best teams to ever play at Maumee. Talk about leaving that legacy, and maybe not just about what you guys are doing this year, but how you're looking to leave the program in a better shape than when you found it. Is that something important to you, Pierce?
Yeah, because my freshman and sophomore year, people would make fun of me for saying I play football here. So we're 1-40,
something like that. Yeah.
But I think with the senior class that we have, we knew that wasn't going to happen. Before Karshner came, we knew we weren't going to lose all those games. I mean, in middle school, we won. Growing up, we always won. So I just think that it took a lot of time, a lot of hard work, but it definitely makes football a lot more fun when we're winning. And if the highest level of high school is winning, then I think more kids are going to play, and it's going to get a bigger program, and it's going to expand everything.
So I won't ask you guys about leaving a legacy, because I'm sure hopefully you'll be here for many, many more years to come. But the trajectory of this program has definitely changed. How is that something you guys look at? Is that something that you take pride in, not just about what's happening this year, but about where this program is headed?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the future goes, I've had the opportunity to work with the JV team on Saturday mornings, and that team, that group of guys has really taken some leaps and bounds forward as far as where they were freshmen. They were successful as freshmen, came in as JV players, and really have done a really good job of taking that next step of building the culture, getting what we want it to look like on the field, and really ultimately that just sets them up for an even better varsity career, because if you're able to, most JV players during the week of practice, they kind of take scout team reps, right?
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of coaching specifically for them going on. But if they're able to still continue to work their techniques, they're able to be locked in, they're able to continue to progress, whether that be physically or mentally or whatever, being able to progress and then go into their juniors and senior years getting ready to contribute on the varsity level. That's what you want to see on the program level. So high hopes for the future, especially with that sophomore class, and we're really looking forward to building something special.
How important are those guys on the scout team this year? And I guess for you guys and anybody that wants to chime in, their season's done. They were done last Saturday, but they continue to show up to practice. How important is their role in what you guys are doing week 11 and onward?
Yeah, I think scout team is vitally important. Both Gus and I coach the scout team. I'm always talking, especially for the offensive scout team. I want our offensive scout team to be better than the team that we're playing. I say that a bunch. And I'm razzing guys, getting at Cody, trying to get together. Some of the scout team guys are scared of the varsity guys. Yeah. So they won't necessarily take their shots, but I'm really trying to encourage those guys just to go and to give that look, so the game speed and the practice speed isn't too different when they get out there, and it all kind of looks the same as what they'll see on a Friday night.
I saw that hit Cody put on that running back from Otsego. I'm scared of Cody too, so I'm not going to lie. For the players, how important is it to get? Same question. How important is it to get the look that you need from the scout team? I mean, these guys just can't be tackling dummies. They can't just be standing with their pad. They've actually got to be active. How much does that help you guys get ready week to week, and especially coming into the playoffs?
I think it's going to be very important, especially this week. But if the scout team isn't doing what they're doing, we're on them, we're yelling at them, because if we don't get the right look, it's not right on Friday. And, maybe we're not 8-2 if we had a bad scout team.
So this is the last part of the show, and I think it gives people a good opportunity to really see behind these answers and to really get to know the people who they're watching on Friday nights or, cheering for. So I'm going to ask you guys a series of questions, and I just want first honest answers. Who is the funniest guy on the team?
Me.
Whoa. No, that's definitely me.
It's okay.
No, that's tough.
Pierce or Donnie?
Who you got?
I got Donnie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Perk.
I'll probably lean in Pierce.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Espen, who you got?
This is tough, but I think I'd talk more to Pierce. I have to go with him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 for Pierce.
Because of Indy.
Mike, come on.
Donovan. Yeah.
Okay, so 3-2.
Tiebreaker.
Who has the best taste in music?
Me.
Either on the team or just with you guys?
Pierce is on Ox all.
I got Ox in the locker room.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, so he's on the speaker practice game day.
So yeah.
Yeah. What's the song that's in constant rotation right now?
Well, I got different playlists for practice and games. Before games, it's like Skrilla by Kodak.
Okay.
And before practice, it depends. It's some like Lil Uzi if we got a chill practice, a Thursday practice.
Okay.
But on like Mondays and Wednesdays are hard days. It's more of like rap and Young Boy. So
Can't forget about First Day Out by T Grizzly.
yeah, so we got
That was a song last year. Oh my God.
yeah. So
All right. Who has the worst taste in music?
No, it's not.
no,
Donovan, really?
riding in the car with Donovan makes me so mad because he's got aux when
He
he's
doesn't
driving.
listen. He doesn't hear what I hear.
No
I
one
hear
should.
beauty. He hears.
No one should ever hear what he hears. It is terrible.
What are you hearing? Like what's he listening to?
I'm hearing what I don't want to. It is just bad.
It's
just
beautiful.
terrible.
Who are you listening to, Donovan?
I listen to like Lucky, Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi, the usuals.
Yeah, the usuals.
That
Yeah.
no one knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm underground.
Who is the best dresser? Who's got the most style?
Yikes.
Not Espen.
Not Espen.
Not Espen. He only wears Maumee shirts to the school.
Gotta represent.
The single, it's the same rotation. I think it's the lift-a-thon, and then it goes to the white lift-a-thon shirt, then maybe the playoff shirt we got.
That's
And his
that's
pound,
a new one.
and his
That's a new
pound
one.
club shirts. That's the rotation. And his jersey on game day. I mean,
And that's his outfit.
that's
Yep.
and some pants.
So it's not Espen.
Yeah.
Okay, well that was going to be my
I mean-
follow-up question. Who's the worst dresser? It sounds like it's
It is
Espen.
definitely Espen.
Could be. Yeah,
I just
Espen.
don't care enough.
Who's the best dresser? Who's the best dresser? Is it one of the coaches? I mean, does Perk got style?
No.
No.
Hey, hold on.
Gus?
I mean, all right. So Perk got the best out of the coaches, but it ain't. I don't know. It's just not.
It's not him for everyone. The whole team, not him.
So outside of you guys, I mean, did somebody show up to homecoming a couple weeks ago and you were like, "Damn, that's a nice outfit"?
Oh, Bryson.
Bryson?
My boy Bryson.
Oh yeah, Bryson
Yeah.
got it.
Bryson.
If
Bryson
Bryson
got the
tries,
best
you can
style.
put it on.
Yeah?
He looked pretty good for home.
Yeah, he looked good for home.
But like, all right.
Did Espen wear one of his Maumee t-shirts to homecoming?
I did not
He
go.
did.
If he would have showed up,
I was not present.
He probably would have had a Maumee jacket on.
the purple
varsity-
jacket, yellow
varsity-
pants.
What is your favorite place to play other than Kazmaier Stadium? Is there a stadium you guys really like to play?
Perrysburg, my sophomore year.
Yeah?
That stadium was loud.
Was
It
it?
had that nice scoreboard.
Yeah, it was nice playing there. I hated the field though because the turf was super old.
I don't remember the turf. I just remember that
I remember
rocking
slipping really
stadium.
And Espen, Mike, do you guys have a favorite place that you like to play outside of the Cavs?
Perrysburg was my favorite. I don't know. I don't like other people's stadiums. I just like ours.
Jeez, that's a fair
I just
answer.
like ours.
That's a fair answer.
Oh, Rossford.
Mike.
Rossford's got a nice stadium,
Mike,
don't they?
you got something to say, Mike?
I agree with that.
If our sideline wasn't on a ditch,
Oh my God!
Rossford Field was.
I thought someone was gonna fall in the river in the little creek.
The hill to get down to Rossford.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
The hill was bad.
What about that hill? Yeah, that's
It
no
was
joke.
raining last year.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I remember watching you guys
Took a
come out of
couple tumbles.
halftime last year, and I'm like, oh God, please don't let them slip.
And then when we did what's it called, the special teams, people were like sitting in like bushes trying to get the balls down the hill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Before the
I wasn't down there.
goals.
I made like the sophomores do it.
Yeah, the heck with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there one game that you guys would like to go back over the last 4 years? What's the one game you'd
Eastwood.
want to go back and play over again?
Eastwood.
Eastwood, what?
Eastwood this year.
This year?
Eastwood this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Eastwood this year, Perrysburg my sophomore year.
Genoa last year.
Yeah.
Bryan last year.
Yeah.
Otsego last year.
I mean, just say every game last year.
Every game last year.
Every time you lost.
There's 5 games last year. There's a game this year. Yeah.
10 games sophomore year.
Yeah, I agree about that Eastwood game. I think if you guys would have had a chance to play them again, like week 9, week 10.
Yeah, I think if we don't play Oak Harbor the week before, I think we beat Eastwood.
How about you, coaches? You guys have been quiet. I mean, I know these questions aren't really for you guys. I don't really want to get your input on the style of the kids or anything. But is there one game in the past couple years that you guys would like to go back and redo?
I don't know about redo, but relive would be last year's Rossford game.
Ooh, yeah.
Talk about just the most adversity that you could possibly face going in, already not having your starting quarterback. We lose our starting running back. Third string running back gets bumped out.
Mm-hmm.
We're up 3 scores. They come roaring back for a comeback, and we're out there just scrapping, putting in some of our JV kids and the young kids stepping up and able to provide some good plays for us. And it felt a little bit like a fever dream, where it's just like anything that can happen will go wrong, and but we were able to, through the credit to the team. I mean, we just fought and battled, and we were able to come out with a win there. And that was, a win in overtime is crazy, and just super proud of our team for that.
All right, guys. Well, I know it's a Sunday. You guys have better things to do than sit in here and talk to me, but I really appreciate you guys coming in and taking the time. Guys, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks.
Those are some serious guys who were ready to get out on that field and win some playoff games already on Sunday. If they can put together a few more strong games up front, Maumee could find itself playing late into November. Thanks to all the players and coaches for taking time out of their Sunday to join me. And thanks to Coach Evan Karchner for making it all happen. We'll be there on Friday cheering our lungs out, and every other Friday after this one too. Before we sign off this week, let's take a look at some of the games and events coming up in Panthers athletics. It's a light week in terms of number of games, but what's on the schedule? It couldn't be more important for the Panthers. The boys soccer team travels to Wapakoneta on Wednesday for a Division III regional semifinal against Cincinnati Indian Hill, the number 2 ranked team in Division III. The Braves come into the game with a 19-0-2 record, beating LaSalle and Tippecanoe in the district tournament. They've outscored opponents 91-12 this season, with senior Connor Wilkes leading the team with 37 goals and 23 assists. Maumee senior Blake Wagner is 1 goal away from his second straight 50-goal season. Blake's 130 career goals now rank first all-time among Northwest Ohio players. A win against Indian Hill would put the Panthers in a Sunday final matchup at noon in Wapakoneta against either Dayton Archbishop Carroll or Cincinnati Turpin, with a chance to go to the state semifinals. The football team opens the Division III playoffs with a home game against Lexington at 7 p.m. on Friday. The Minutemen enter the game with a 5-5 record, but only one of those wins have come on the road. Lexington is led by the 4th-ranked player in the junior class in the state, tight end Braden Fogel. The 6'4", 225-pounder also plays defensive end, and he's picked up 11 Division I college offers, including one from Georgia. This is Lexington's 9th playoff appearance, also its 2nd straight. The Minutemen are 5-8 in their previous 8 playoffs. This is Maumee's 10th appearance in the postseason with a 3-9 record in those previous 9 playoffs. Just a note about parking, Friday is also the opening night for the Maumee High School fall play, so parking in the Performing Arts Center lot will be at a premium. If you want to park there, please get there early, otherwise you might need to find somewhere else to park. And if you do park in the neighborhoods, make sure you're being courteous and kind to the homeowners and neighbors. And that's a look ahead at the week to come in Maumee Athletics. You've reached the end of another episode of Inside Maumee Athletics. Thanks again to all the football seniors and coaches for joining the podcast. Listen, I've been around high school football for more than 25 years, and this is the most fun and excitement that I've had. Good luck on Friday. We're also lucky to have our supporters, the Maumee Athletic Boosters, the Mirror newspaper, and Pride of the Panthers photographers. If you'd like to contact the podcast, email us at insidemaumeeathletics@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Inside Maumee Athletics on Facebook and YouTube, and at Inside Maumee ATH on Twitter. Just a quick programming note, we're going to take a week off from the podcast to regroup and catch our breath. Join us in 2 weeks when we'll be joined by girls basketball coach Raphael Soler. Until then, thanks for listening.